One of the things that's made the Nintendo Switch so wildly popular since its release way back in 2017 has been the ability to play console-quality games either hooked up to your television or on the go when you remove your Switch from the dock. Now, for someone like me, I love playing it in dock mode. Handheld, not always the best experience for me. I'm not a huge fan on either the original Switch or the Switch OLED of the way that the console feels in my hands with the stock Joy-Cons. And it just feels slippery, it feels thin, it feels wide. It is not the way that I want to play my Switch. Now, a number of manufacturers have come out with grips and grip cases and ways that you can go ahead and beef this up to get you a better handheld experience. And we are actually going to take a look at one of those here today. Hey everybody, Gary here with Rock Solid Productions. Thanks for coming by and checking out our episode here today. And as you can see, as we continue going on, we are getting things more and more set up. We've got the TV hung, we've got everything hooked up. We are really excited to keep going and produce more awesome content from here in our new studio. And what I want to know from you here today in this episode, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch OLED, Nintendo Switch Lite. What is your Switch of choice? And handheld or dock mode? For me, like I mentioned, I actually prefer playing in dock mode. Now, the folks over at NYXI Gaming, and I hope that I'm pronouncing that properly, right before we moved, they sent us these guys here, and I apologize to them. It has taken me a little bit longer to get to this just due to the move. But this is designed to replace the Joy-Cons on your Nintendo Switch and give you an overall better handheld performance. It does also have this joiner, it looks like, on here, so you can go ahead and use it as a Joy-Con grip or a Pro controller replacement. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to go ahead, take this out of the box, check it out, and we are going to test it both on the original Switch, which is what's hooked up and playing behind me, and my Switch OLED. That's how I was able to pull this out, and Shantae was still playing back behind me. Let me know down too, what's your favorite Shantae game? Let's go ahead, hit the photo bench, check these guys out. So here we have the NYXI Gaming Joy-Pad or Joy-Con grip here for the Nintendo Switch on the bench. Now, one thing I do want to just throw out there real quick, they did send me this for the purpose of review. They're not checking out anything that we're doing or saying ahead of time. My thoughts and opinions are all my own here. So looking at the box, as you can see, it actually got kind of beat up in shipping, so I'm hoping it's okay. So out of the box, you get, I can feel there's stuff behind here. So here are the controllers themselves, the Joy-Cons as you would. They do feel significantly bigger than the stock Joy-Cons. We're going to compare them here in a moment. I do want to check them out with the joiner here. Kind of a tight fit. Yeah, not the easiest fit. I'll tell you though, this doesn't feel terrible, but it is definitely wider than a Pro controller would be. Let's go ahead, take a look at the back here. So you have M and T, so I'm mode and maybe turbo, 3R, 3L, looks like to be a programmable back button, which is interesting. Digital shoulder buttons, not analog, so I mean I can tell that right away. Now on the bottom here you do have dual USB-C ports to charge both of them, and you have only one USB-C cable. I would like to see two included or one with a Y on the end, so that way you can charge both of them at one time. So if we take a look right here, charging instructions, when the controllers are in the USB charging state, the LED lights will flash slowly. If connected to the console, the lights will stay on when it's fully charged. If not, the lights will be off. So basically, it does charge through, it's got to have connections to the system there. All right, that is a nice thing to see. So they will charge through the system. So here's something interesting. There are 5 levels of vibration, 100, 75, 50, 30, off. The default level is 50%. Press the T button and then use the left analog stick to adjust the controller vibration level. Press the T button to use the right analog stick to adjust the right vibration. So you can alternate or adjust the vibration independently. That's interesting. The LED settings will go on the back here. So color mode, button combinations, press and hold the T button and the joystick, then release to change the color. Effects, 1 is red, 2 is orange, 3 is yellow, 4 is green, 5 is cyan, 6 is blue, 7 is purple, 8 is rainbow. Press and hold the T button and the joystick to change the brightness, then release the joystick to fix the brightness. Control will vibrate when adjusting. Breath mode, hold T and then press the joystick twice. 1 through 8 auto cycling, 1 is 8 color auto cycling, 2 is rainbow light breath mode, 3 turn off the light. Press down the joystick twice to change the light pattern. Press down the joystick twice to change the light pattern. Control will vibrate when adjusting. Okay, overall pretty interesting. So we're going to start off here with our original Switch. I'm going to slide off the Joy-Cons, and the first thing I want to do is just compare the size of the Joy-Cons with these guys, because it is a huge difference. I mean, look at that. How much bigger these are than this is. The analog stick, I do like that it is curved in versus the bubble top that the OEM ones have. I do prefer this a lot more. The D-pad feels decent. Not gonna lie, that actually does not feel bad at all. Now for it has the shoulder buttons there too if you would want to use it. I don't think it's great myself for that, but so that's interesting. Slide off the other side, and you can see here how much bigger it is than the right Joy-Con. Now it does not have the IR camera in the bottom, so that is something to be aware of. Feels like the analog stick has more overall travel too. Buttons are nice and big. Does have your plus button along with your home button. Okay. So we'll set the OEM Joy-Cons aside. Grab our Switch. And try it out. Paired right up. That is great. It is wide, I will tell you that much. This thing is now super, super wide. So T. So there's yellow. There's the green. Blue. I guess cyan. Purple. There's the rainbow. There's red. Orange. Yellow. Yeah, those are neat. And I just want to test the lag and latency through something like Punch-Out. We'll play a couple quick rounds here just to see how the performance is. And I am actually going to try the D-pad initially. Yeah, this does feel ginormous. I mean, I can't complain about the responsiveness. You press a button, he reacts. And granted, yes, it's Glass Joe, I get it, but still, that's not terrible. Got him with the star punch there. Yeah, I have to say, I have no complaints about the responsiveness at all. I mean, press a button, he reacts. And we just knocked out Glass Joe, which, not a huge surprise. And again, this is on my standard Nintendo Switch. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually take these off of here. I'm going to go to the home screen. I'm going to pop these off. I just want to verify, too, that these do... Well, no, I mean, there's no verification. It has the combiner. Whoop. I'm going to power that off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my Switch OLED, because I want to try Street Fighter 2 on this, because that's another game that is really good for testing out the overall performance. And I should be able to pretty much hot swap this over to here. Yeah, worked just fine. Now, one thing that this does show off as well is just how beautiful that Switch OLED display is. I mean, it's nice. You can't say that it's not. Ooh, Ken versus Ryu. So far, so good. Oh, Dragon Uppercut. I don't know why it's disconnecting like that. Unless the battery could be low, which is what's causing that to happen. I mean, I did not charge these, but it should be charging off of the system, I would think. I have to say, I am really digging the responsiveness here. Although there I screwed up. Well, we got them. Yeah, that is interesting that it kept disconnecting or wanting us to repair. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hop into the Switch online service for the N64 and just check and see how it works for that. We'll dive into some Super Mario 64 real quick. Now I had noticed this before, but watch, I'm going to press down and to the right. Watch the light here. It actually gets brighter. It does that around the whole circumference. That's actually a neat little touch. I will say this does not feel quite right compared to playing with an N64 controller, but I don't know anything that would. Let's check and see. One of the reasons why I wanted to do some Mario 64 is how precise are the analog sticks. So let's check the left stick here. It looks like it has a decent amount of deadband. I mean, you can see how much I'm moving it here, and I'll come a little bit closer before Mario's. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, I'm moving at 2-3 millimeters at least before he's moving, so it's not overly touchy, but there's definitely deadband that could be tightened up in there. Okay, overall, I mean, this doesn't feel terrible. Like I say, the analog sticks, they're very smooth, but I am definitely noticing that deadband. Button presses feel great still. I mean, that is something to take note of. I'm not having any of the issues like I did before where it looked to be disconnecting, and I don't know if it's if it was a battery charging issue that has now been taken care of because it's been connected to the system for a few minutes to charge up the battery on each of the Joy-Cons. The rumble does, I mean, even at 50%, the rumble is strong. I don't know that I would use this for my daily driver. I still think that they are very, very wide. It is, for me at least, it is an improvement over the stock units. They are nowhere near as slippery, and they do give you a better overall grip on the system. Alright, there we got King Babam, and we got a star in Super Mario World, or Super Mario 64. So there you have it, our look at the Nixie Gaming Joy-Cons, for lack of a better term, for the Nintendo Switch. And what do I think about them? So I do like the fact that they do charge through the system. I'm glad that I was wrong about that. Should have read through the manual a little bit more completely as I was going through and doing my testing, but it does charge through the system. They are ginormous. They dwarf the original Joy-Cons. They dwarf the Pro Controller. Look how much wider it is than the Pro Controller. So this is something, if you have big hands, this is what you want to go with. I like the colors. The colors are really sharp. A little impractical because you're not looking at the controller as you're playing. You're watching the screen, or you're watching the screen on your Switch. You can catch it out of your peripheral vision, and it is one of those where I did notice that, you know, basically the LEDs get brighter opposite direction from which you're pointing. So, you know, right now it's brighter towards the center. Now it's brighter away from it. Rumble is really, really good. I never found a need to go past what this is out of the box, 50%. I did not use the back or the turbo buttons myself. I generally don't use those a whole lot. I may turn on the turbo and try it later on for like Star Fox or a shooter, something along those lines. But overall, it's okay for what it is. And here's how I'm going to preface that. Like I say, I am not generally a fan of the Joy-Cons or Joy-Con grip. It is a better experience than that, but these are huge. Now, one thing I will say that this has a definitive advantage over the Split Pad Pro is the built-in battery. You can use this, as you see it here, as a Joy-Con, basically a Pro Controller replacement, or as a Joy-Con grip, for lack of a better term. The fact that it's kind of raised there, I wish that would be scalloped more towards. I understand why they couldn't because of how it's going to sit against the system, but maybe raising this center part up so that it meets this a little bit better would have been nice on here too. Button presses were responsive, as you saw as I was playing Punch-Out and as I was playing Street Fighter. There is quite a bit of deadband, I thought, in the analog sticks. Some people may like that, some people may not. For first-person shooters, it may be something where you feel like you've got to move the stick quite a bit out of center to be able to adjust your shot. Your mileage may vary. So overall, it's an interesting concept. It looks killer, just not an ideal solution for me. Might be for you though. Again, your mileage may vary. Now, if you do have any other comments or questions, as always, feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I will have a link to where you can pick one of these up down below in a pinned comment if you would like to do so. If you have any other questions, you can always go ahead, feel free to email me at rocksolidmail@gmail.com. Send me a message on Twitter at RockSolidStudios. We are on Facebook at facebook.com/RockSolidProductions and Instagram at Instagram.com/RockSolidProductionsGK. Now, if you are looking for any other accessories for the Switch, cases, ways to carry the system, if you're looking for ways to carry the games, if you're looking for games, head on over to CastlemaniaGames.com. The cool thing over there is he has a feature called Castle Cash, where the more you spend, the more you earn towards future purchases, and Castle Cash is just like cash. So if you got 20 bucks in Castle Cash, you've got 20 bucks to spend at the castle. You can also use promo code ROCKSOLID10 to save 10% off of most items on the website. That happened when I hit the back button twice. Didn't know why that did that. Interesting. Check that out. So it does have some macros programmed right into it. Now, if you do want to see other videos that we have on the Switch Lite, the Switch OLED, first and foremost, if you haven't seen new ones and you want to keep up informed and up to date with when we have new ones coming out, hit that subscribe button. Now, if you want to see other videos like our unboxing of the Switch OLED, our original unboxing of the Switch and Switch Lite, those videos are coming up for you right now. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like to support the future of Rock Solid Productions, you can do so by visiting our Patreon page at patreon.com/rocksolid. For as little as $1 a month, $12 a year, you'll get early access to all of our video content, exclusive content, and a whole lot more. You can also become a channel member here on YouTube for as little as $1.99 a month, and with that, you get a badge next to your name when you comment or post on the channel, and you are acknowledged whether you are a channel member or a Patreon supporter at the end of each and every one of our videos. You can also support the channel by visiting our Teespring store on screen now, where we have t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, masks, cell phone cases, and much more. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.